Assalamu alaikum. Good morning to one and all. Today we are going to learn about the conditional statement and the converse of the given conditional statement. Already I think many of you are learned with the help of the pictures which are given shown to you, but still some students have confusion about that. So today again I am repeating that lecture. Try to understand it. Okay. See here, statements which are written in the form of if and then. Already I think you have learned in English subject different types of clauses: adjective clause, noun clause, adverb clause. In that adverb clause there are the subtypes. That means adverb clause of reason, adverb clause of place, adverb clause of time, and adverb clause of condition. Likewise, different types of subtypes of adverb clauses are there. So from that, if the sentence is in the form of if and then, such type of sentence is called as a conditional statement. If today it will rain, then I will take umbrella with me. Such type of sentences we are using in our day-to-day life. If I will score good marks in the exam, then I will get good result. Correct? I will be the first in the school or in Maharashtra. Likewise, such type of sentences we are using in our day-to-day life. Now, let us see one example is given. In a similar manner, in mathematics second, there are the statements. Generally, in mathematics second, statements are in the form of the conditional statement. Now you can see here one statement is written. For example, a quadrilateral is a rhombus. Then its diagonals are perpendicular bisectors of each other. See here I have shown with the red box. It indicates it is in an antecedent. This part after if, the part which is there, it is in an antecedent. That is the given part. And after then what is written there, it is called as a consequent effect. It's the result. Therefore, its diagonals are perpendicular bisector of each other. You know that if a quadrilateral is a rhombus, next standard you learn that. अगर वो quadrilateral rhombus है, इसका ये मतलब होता है कि उसके diagonals क्या रहते हैं? Perpendicular bisectors of each other. Yes or no? So such type of sentences are called as conditional statements. Understood? Now, next point is converse. Converse means what? What is a converse? Interchanging of the consequent and the antecedent in the given conditional statement. है ना? अगर ग्रीन बॉक्स अगर रेड बॉक्स की जगह पर शिफ्ट किया जाए और रेड बॉक्स अगर ग्रीन बॉक्स की जगह पर शिफ्ट किया जाए, तो हम क्या कह सकते हैं कि वो जो स्टेटमेंट है, that statement is called as a converse of the given statement. You can see one example is written on the board. Suppose example first, the diagonals of rhombus are perpendicular bisector of each other. It is a statement. ये statement. It is a statement. अभी इस statement का हमें क्या करना है? Conditional statement and converse बनाना है. Conditional statement मतलब क्या? If and then को use करना है. Let us use if and then here. You can see here, if a quadrilateral is a rhombus, then its diagonals are perpendicular bisector of each other. देखो, इस statement को conditional statement में convert किया. In the similar manner, we are going to write about the converse of the conditional statement. What is the definition of the converse? Interchanging antecedent and consequent. देखो यहाँ पर interchange हुआ कि नहीं? If the diagonals of quadrilateral are perpendicular bisectors of each other, then देखो then के बाद क्या आया? Then the rhombus. इस statement में क्या था? Rhombus if के बाद था. और इस statement में क्या है? Rhombus then के बाद आया. Interchange हो गया. When there is an interchange of the antecedent and consequent, such type of conditional statements or statement is called as the converse of the given conditional statement. Understood? One example is given to you. What is that example? A prime number greater than 2 is odd. You know that if number which is greater than 2, obviously that prime number is an odd number. Already you have learned in previous standard. Now this is a statement. Now what you are going to write in your notebook? You will write the conditional statement and you will write the converse with the help of this example. Understood? So please copy down. Next point is proof. Proofs. In mathematics second, proof means whatever the statements you have learned in previous standard, just like diagonals of square are congruent, diagonals of rhombus are perpendicular bisector of each other, angle some property of triangle means sum of the all angles of triangle is 180 degree. We are using this property directly, but what we are going to learn in this year, we are going to prove these results with the help of the some results, some standard results, some self-evident statements. Self-evident statement is that statements which are accepted by all. Such type of statements are called as postulates. Such type of statements are called as postulates. And do you know that who is the father of geometry? Yes, the father of geometry is Euclid. Euclid is called as the father of geometry. In 3rd century, he put forth the concepts of the different types of the postulates. He proved it logically, and he put forth the concept of geometry in front of the whole world. He is called as the father of geometry. His book is there. His name is Elements. In that book, he has written a lot of information about the geometry. He developed different branches of mathematics, and he proved it logically. It is true. Now postulate. Now postulate means self-evident geometrical statements which are accepted by all. Which are accepted by all. They are called as postulates. For example, in our day-to-day life, do you agree? Air is present here. Yes or no? Means it is true, and we have to accept. We all are accepted that. In our surrounding there is an atmosphere and there is a air. Oxygen is there, carbon dioxide is present in the space where I am standing here. It is accepted. Now how to prove it? With the help of the practicals, with the help of the experiments we can prove that. Like in the similar manner, we are going to follow the same method here in this mathematics second. Postulates are accepted and that they are proved by the means of the basic knowledge. Now what is the meaning of theorems? Theorems is nothing but the properties proved logically. Properties proved logically are called theorems. Different theorems are there for your syllabus. In 9th standard there are the theorems, in 10th standard again there are the theorems. Now this is the basic. The one who will pay attention here, the one who will understand the concept of the theorems, they are well in mathematics sector. So I request to all of you that whenever the lecture is going on there, you just pay attention and learn what I am saying. If any doubt, you can ask me. So theorems, properties proved logically are called as theorems. Logically proved. जो theorems, जो statements रहते हैं वो logically prove हो गए, इसका ये मतलब है वो theorem. Euclid's postulate. Euclid is the father of geometry. So he put forth the different postulates which are self-evident, which are true, which are accepted by all. Some postulates are written here on the board. Now, first postulate, there are infinite lines passing through a point. There are infinite lines which are passing through a point. Let us see practically it is true or not. If suppose a point is drawn here and through a single point we can draw how many lines? We can draw infinite lines. We can draw how many lines? We can draw infinite lines passing through a single point. It is true and it is accepted by all. So this is the first postulate of the Euclid. Second, we can draw only one line passing through 2 points. Suppose there are the 2 points. How many lines we can draw through these 2 points? Yes, we can draw only one line. It is the only one line which is passing through 2 distinct points. Third postulate, we can draw a circle with any point as a center. Suppose if I am to keep a compass here and if I am to draw the circle, I can draw it. circle of any radius with any point. It is also true. Fourth postulate, all right angles are congruent. Obviously, if I draw a right angle here, what is the measure of this angle? 90 degree. If I draw one more right angle here, what is the measure of this angle? Also 90 degree. Therefore, these two angles will be congruent. Now, fifth postulate: if two interior angles form on one side of a transversal of two lines add up to less than two right angles, then the lines produced in that direction intersect each other. What is the meaning of this? Very easy. It is if two interior angles. Now, first of all, we have to draw the two lines. I have to draw the two lines. Okay, I have drawn the two lines. And what it is said that if two interior angles formed on one side of a transversal, means there is a transversal. There is a transversal intersecting two lines. Add up to less than two right angles. Less than two right angles. That means when the transversal is formed here, this angle A and this angle is B. These angles are interior angles. And that angle must be what? They must be less than 90 degree. You can see in this figure, I have drawn these angles in such a way that these angles are an acute angle, means less than 90 degree. And if we extend these lines, yellow line is extended, then what we will get? We will get that lines are intersecting. Yes or no? These are the 5 postulates of Euclid which is explained. So please copy down if you know. Next point is proof. Proofs are of two types. One is direct proof and second is indirect proof. Now, what is the difference between the direct proof and indirect proof? Direct proof, whenever a logical statement is true and if you want to prove it, directly you are using some basic postulates and you are going to prove the result. Okay? Today we are going to learn the direct proof. And what is the meaning of indirect proof? Indirect proof means in this proof you have to assume something, and if their assumption is getting wrong, then you will get a result. For example, in our day-to-day life, what we are assuming? We are coming to the school. What we are assuming that when we will go to the school, we will work hard, our result will be very good. But at the day of the result, all the matter is clear. Whether you have worked hard or not, your assumption will get correct. If you have worked hard, it is correct, and if you are not working hard, the result will be not good. So such type of the proof is called as an indirect proof. Got it? So when the conditional statement is true, then its antecedent in last few statements we have learned that the part which is antecedent is called as a given part and consequent part is called as to prove. That part is called as to prove. Now let us see the first theorem of this lesson. What is the theorem? The opposite angles formed by two intersecting lines. The opposite angles formed by two intersecting lines are of equal measure. Yes, you have used this property in previous standard, in 7th standard, in 8th standard. You were using this property and you were solving the examples. That means angle AOC is equal to angle BOD and angle ABOC is equal to angle AOD. These angles are congruent. Already you know that, you have used it, but now what you are going to do here, you are going to prove this result. Now in exam, only the statement will be given to you. The statement will be given, nothing is given to you. The rest of the things you are going to write it. What are the things? First is, with the help of the statement you have to draw the figure. With the help of the statement you have to write the given. With the help of the figure. With the help of the statement you are going to write the to prove with the help of the figure. With the help of the statement all the things we are going to write. First I have drawn the figure. It is said in the statement two intersecting lines. So I have drawn the two intersecting lines. Then what is given is opposite angles, two lines intersecting. Line AB and line CD intersect each other at point O. This is the matter that is given. And what we are going to do? Angle AOC. Angle AOC is congruent with angle BOD. And angle BOC is congruent with angle AOD. This is what we are going to do. Got it? Now let us the proof of this. Let us see what is the proof of this theorem. To prove this result, what we will do? For your understanding, I will give these angles with a letter, small letter. Let us consider this letter is A. This angle is A. Measure of this angle is A, and measure of this angle is B. AOC is A and BOD is B, and this angle is C and AOD is of angle B. For your understanding, so that our proof will be very easy. Got it? Now what we will do? Let us see here. My first statement is angle A plus angle C is equals to how much? What is the measure of angle A plus measure of angle C? अगर इन दोनों एंगल्स को ऐड करेंगे तो मेजर कितना होगा? What is the measure? Yes, what is the measure of that angle? Anyone? You can see here A plus C. देखो जरा यहाँ पर ये एंगल प्लस ये वाला एंगल दोनों को ऐड करेंगे तो उन दोनों एंगल का मेजर कितना होगा? करेक्ट, इट्स एन 180 degree. Why it's an 180 degree? Yes, it's an angles in linear pair. इस ब्रैकेट के अंदर आपको रीजंस लिखने हैं. Reasons are very very important. यहाँ पर आप क्या लिखेंगे? Angles in linear pair. हमें पता है एक लाइन के ऊपर जितने भी एंगल्स बनेंगे तो उन सभी एंगल्स का एडिशन कितना रहता है? 180 रहता है. So the it's an angles in linear pair. Now try to find out what will be the second statement. Try to find out. Yes, angle B plus angle B. What is the addition of these two angles? Correct. It's an 180. इस ब्रैकेट के अंदर फिर से रीजन आएगा. What will be the reason? Angle sum property. Angles in linear pair. क्योंकि वो दोनों एंगल्स एक ही लाइन पे बन रहे हैं. आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे. See here, I will show you the white chalk here. ये एंगल और ये एंगल प्रोटेक्टर बन रहा है. कंपास के अंदर प्रोटेक्टर रहता है. What is the measure of that protector? It is 180 degree. So addition is 180 degree. Now from 1 and 2, what we can say? From 1 and 2 means statement number 1 and 2. इन दोनों का एडिशन भी 180 है. इन दोनों का एडिशन भी 180 है. Means left hand side is equal. Sorry, right hand side is equal. So what we can say? Left hand side is also equal. Therefore we can say that angle A plus angle C is equals to angle B plus angle D. Reason already we have written here from 1 and 2. Now sorry, instead of B and D we have to take here B and C. We have to take here B and C. B and C will come. Correct? आप देख सकते हैं B and C, addition of B and C is also 180 degree. So we can take here B plus C is equals to 180. Now what is getting cancelled here? See here, CC is getting cancelled. And what is remaining? Yes, angle A is equals to angle B. What is the meaning of angle A? See there in figure, angle AOC is equals to angle B. Angle B, what is the meaning of angle B? That is angle BOD. Hence proof AOC is equals to angle BOD. Similarly, we can prove angle BOC is congruent equal to angle AO, and hence it is proved that what it is proved, whenever the two lines intersect, their opposite angles are always of equal measure. That means they are congruent. Got it? So please copy down it in a notebook.